Everything is getting more expensive, and you don't have a lot of money, but you still want to build muscle mass. Giving up on your passion is not an option because it's important that you live the way you want. Let's look at the cheapest products that contain a lot of protein so that you can get enough protein in to build muscle mass without paying a lot of money. I have 17 products to share with you that help you save money and grow muscle mass at the same time. Since 30 grams of protein per meal is a good portion of protein, but also the minimum per meal for a bodybuilder, we base the price on 30 grams of protein. These prices are from Dutch supermarkets, so keep that in mind. If you have cheaper supermarkets in your country, then that is awesome. Number 1, fish sticks. You can buy a 450-gram pack for around €2, especially if it is a supermarket's own brand. And to get 30 grams of proteins, you need half the pack, which is €1 per 30 grams of protein. That is definitely not too bad of a price. You can make 2 meals from one package, and to get full and satisfied, you can add some rice or potatoes to your plate. Number 2, low-fat quark. A very good product for muscle building, but also important. Very cheap. You can find a 500-gram container for 80 cents, and here too, just like all products, go for the cheap house brand because the product is the same. The only thing you would pay more for is a different logo. To get 30 grams of protein with low-fat quark, you need 400 grams, and for 400 grams, you pay 64 cents. That should definitely be possible. Number 3, eggs. A product that used to be very cheap, but now, like all products, has become a lot more expensive. However, it is still a good option for any athlete. If you live near a farmer, you can get them cheaper from the farmer. But in the supermarket, you will spend about 30 cents per egg. To get 30 grams of protein, you need 5 eggs, and 5 times 30 cents is €1.50 that you would spend per meal. Number 4, tofu. Tofu is known as one of the vegetarian products with a lot of protein. The price is attractive. At the supermarket, you pay €1.50 for 375 grams. To get 30 grams of protein, you need 250 grams of tofu. And for those 250 grams, you would pay exactly €1. By the way, tofu is a meat substitute that you should season well, because if you don't, it will feel like you are eating a piece of rubber. Number 5, peanuts. Most nuts are expensive, but that is not the case with peanuts. You can buy a 250-gram bag for €1, and to get 30 grams of protein, you need exactly half of the 250-gram bag. Therefore, that means 50 cents per 30 grams of proteins. Peanut butter is made from peanuts, and therefore the nutritional value is the same. If you like it, go for it. Number 6, hamburgers. Frozen hamburgers are very cheap compared to other meat products, but it is better not to eat them more than once a day. As you already know, this is not the healthiest product, but if you want to grow and train hard and don't have a lot of money, then it is fine to let this product help you gain more muscle mass. You would spend about 21 cents on one frozen hamburger, and to get 30 grams of proteins, you need almost 4 hamburgers. Number 7, canned tuna. This is a product that varies enormously in price, depending on which brand or supermarket it's from. At supermarkets such as Lidl or Aldi, the prices are still reasonable. You would pay €1.20 for one can of 150 grams of tuna. And to get 30 grams of protein, you need 120 grams of tuna, which costs 96 cents. Number 8, beans in a can. Most canned products are very cheap, so if you are having a hard time financially, it is good to take a look at that department. For €1, you can buy a 500-gram can of brown beans, and to get 30 grams of protein in one go, you would need the entire can, and that costs €1. Beans are ideal as half of your plate and the other half, for example, eggs or tuna, because eating only beans for your protein can be heavy on the stomach. Number 9, sunflower seeds. Just like nuts, seeds are rich in protein, and sunflower seeds contain no less than 29 grams of protein per 100 grams. However, this is a product for someone who wants to bulk, because just like peanuts, all nuts and seeds consist of about half fat, and even though they are healthy fats, the calories are still high. You can buy a 500-gram bag for €4, and to get 30 grams of protein, you need 105 grams of sunflower seeds, and that costs 80 cents. Number 10, whey protein. That's protein powder. Maybe you didn't expect it on this list because of the high price per kilo, but since you only need 40 grams to get the 30 grams of proteins, it's still not a bad deal. For 1 kilo, you would spend almost €23, but you only need 40 grams of product to reach 30 grams of protein, and for that, you would pay only 90 cents. If you look at it per portion, It is not too bad, and protein powder makes it easy to quickly get those proteins in. Number 11. Milk. Milk is also a cheap and easy way to get your proteins in. There are only 3.6 grams of proteins per 100 grams. That's not much, but because it's easy to drink and cheap in price, it can help you a lot. You can buy 1 liter milk for €1, and if you drink the entire bottle, you would get 36 grams of proteins in. You spend less than €1 for 30 grams of protein, and drinking a bottle of milk is very easy. Number 12. Canned lentils. Lentils contain 6.5 grams of protein per 100 grams. In terms of price, it's around 30 cents per 100 grams, and to go above 30 grams of proteins, 500 grams of lentils are needed, and for that amount, it's €1.50. That's not a bad price. And with lentils, it's the same as with beans. Get half of your proteins from lentils and half from fish or eggs for more enjoyment of the meal. Number 13. Protein bread. This product is appearing in more and more supermarkets, but Lidl and Aldi, for example, have been selling protein bread for years. At Aldi, it costs €2.29, and the quantity is 480 grams. Per 100 grams, you can count on 22 grams of proteins, and to get those 30 grams of proteins, you only need 140 grams of bread. For 140 grams of protein bread, you pay 67 cents, and that's a great price for 30 grams of proteins. Number 14. Tuna pizza. With 1 frozen tuna pizza, you get 35.5 grams of proteins. This is not a product for if you want to lose weight, but if you want to grow muscle mass and you don't have a lot of money, then this is great to get the calories and protein inside. You can get a tuna pizza for under €2 in most supermarkets. And an evening meal with enough protein for under €2 is not a bad deal. Number 15. Coalfish. It is one of the cheapest types of fish you can find in the supermarket. You can find them in the freezer packed as 4 blocks of Alaska coalfish in a box. Each block weighs 100 grams and contains 17 grams of proteins. It's 70 cents per block. With 2 blocks of coalfish, you end up with 34 grams of proteins and a price of €1.40. Number 16. Chicken nuggets. It may not sound like the healthiest product, but it's not that bad. And if you want to grow with minimal financial resources, then this is certainly a helpful product. You can buy chicken nuggets in almost every supermarket for under €3 for a 500-gram box. Per 100 grams, you get 13 grams of proteins, and with half the box, you pass the 30 grams of proteins. So even if it was €3, which is on the high side, and still, it's only €1.50 per meal. Number 17. Tactical side job. This is not a product, but it certainly belongs on this list because it can help someone who is struggling. At restaurants, snack bars, and other companies that work with food, the staff often has luxurious benefits such as free food, taking leftover food home, or buy food with huge discounts, and that while they get paid. By taking a temporary side job, you can eat a lot for very little money. Don't forget to subscribe if this video gave you something of value. You can click here for a new video.